Today I wanted to get out on the MT09 and test in the real world, under real conditions, real rides, see how those brackets worked out, see how visually I like them from the point where you sit on a motorcycle and look down into the windshield. And after a full day of sitting on it and looking out the front, I came up with a couple little changes I'll be making in the future. Now this time of year, life is so unpredictable here on the farm. What used to be the farm, it's now, I don't know what it is. The Dorman farm. Anyway, we had a great day with Dale yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's video with his 51 Ford pickup, wow, that is some piece of work. It actually piqued my interest in older cars a little bit. Maybe I'll go to a couple of car shows this year. But as unpredictable as everything is, we finished up our windshield mount. That worked out great. I'm thinking I might want to get some black bolts for this. These rubber things, I don't know. That's the last part of the puzzle. I have a Yamaha sticker ordered for the front. That'll make it, I think, just dress it up a little bit. Little tiny things. But then I'm having breakfast with Karen this morning. She's planning on making cookies. And she says, it's going to go to 40 degrees today. Well, when it's 40 degrees, the hell with working on bikes. I want to ride. So what I've kind of done is indiscriminately made a cutoff point of I don't want to leave the house when it's under 40 degrees. I'm just getting old, I guess. And not maybe, definitely. But so it is going up over 40. I got a couple little errands to do around the house, and then I'm going to head out on the open road. And our little mount just worked out great. That really could not have worked out better. And I think there's a couple little steps. And I'm always thinking of, and I always try to share that information, they make these little bolts, windshield bolts that are black. Now see, of course some people would want silver or gold or whatever, but I'm going to order them today, get Karen to order them, and then there's still little details there. But then I'm trying to plan something, because Dale has some parts for me to paint, a Ducati headlight. I wanted to paint that first, and then when I do this paint test, that's the next thing, is the blue. So we're about 3 days ahead on that already. And then wait for a really nice day and do all the clear on all the parts. So we're trying to work efficiently, but most of all, we're trying to eat a lot of cookies over this holiday season. And it's working. Now I just want to show this. I'm going to see where I got these from. I know when I ordered these, they made them in all different colors, and they were very inexpensive. But here's what I'm getting at. If you put gold bolts there, I don't know about that. I'd really like them as the final touch to be black. And see, here's the other thing I wanted to have. On the R1, the Yamaha logo, and those are gel logos. They're not stickers. They're actually three-dimensional. I ordered a small one for up here. I just think that'll be more little final touches, but of course, all in the eye of the beholder. But I want to go get suited up and get some riding in today. And of course I'm already trying to picture what that's going to look like with the silver wheels. I love that laid back windshield. A small detail for sure, but to me it's a big detail. Anyway, I'm going to be dreaming on this ride of the modifications we're going to make over the winter and the holiday season we're going to have. We haven't had it yet, but I know Karen's making cookies, and then I want to get out on the open road. And of course Karen and I do love to decorate for the holiday. She's got decorations even for Valentine's Day. And hey, I can't complain. She bought me that RD for Valentine's present. Today's cookie production, what are we making here today?
There's sugar cookies with all different colors of sugars.
Ooh. Oh, you don't know. By the end of the day, we'll have how many million cookies? What kind of cookies are these? All sugar cookies?
Sugar cookies.
Sugar cookies. Ooh, perfect for the holidays. As the day goes by, the cookies are coming out of the oven. What a great time Christmas is. What kind of cookies did you make for the birds today?
They don't get any.
They don't get cookies. Sorry, boys. And we've really prepared early for this Christmas season. And I want to take this moment to wish your family a very Merry Christmas from my family. Now, while I'm out on a ride, I'll be thinking of a few things, but one of them is going to be coming home and having some of those cookies. They're already coming out of the oven when I'm leaving. In a couple hours, we'll have basically an unlimited amount of cookies. So as I'm getting dressed, I'm thinking, we're really in the transition part of the year where we're going to be doing some work. We got those brackets done. We're going to be testing this stuff that Dale gave us, and I don't know again. And we have some parts that we want to do our test painting. But the biggest thing, and I'm trying to plan it out in the next week or so, I want to do a dedicated day of when you go to use a brand new paint and a brand new thinner that you've never used before, how I would do it. Not saying that's the be-all end-all, but it has worked for me in the past. Because I remember, and just before I get suited up to go, I want to mention this while I'm thinking of it. Mark Morgan spent a ton of money on some pearl white paint for his FC600 when we did that. And the thinner that we were trying to use didn't match the paint. He had to go buy the thinner. Then the other paint, it didn't dry right. It bubbled up. And we had to really work it and then strip it all back down. I remember that being a big problem. So I walk on thin ice now. Whenever I'm using a new paint and a new thinner, and this is expensive, this paint was expensive. So I really want to tiptoe through the tulips here, but I want to make a separate video of that. So I'm trying to divide up the work so that the videos are fun to watch and they don't get too long. And just for reference too, I don't leave the radar detector out in the garage after it gets to probably 50 degrees, because I've heard, and I don't know for sure, but I did one of the booster batteries, and if it went down under freezing last night, I'm sure. I don't like the booster battery to be any colder than it has to be. I've heard that those batteries, the booster batteries, don't respond well to being frozen. And I do keep a log of every time I charge that battery, every 2 months. And we're going to see if this one lasts. The other one only lasted 2 years. We're going to see if this one lasts longer. And for sure, we have 2 batteries now for our electric jacket. It should keep us warm. And I keep, this is pretty funny, I want to show this. I keep the electric gloves in, I wanted to show this, because this is how nice that fits in it. There's the electric gloves, just in case it's colder up north than I think it is here. And it usually is by a significant amount. But that's a good thing if you're not going to use them, because once your hands get freezing cold, well, you can just open this up. We don't know if that's going to happen today, because it is supposed to get up over 40. Way over 40, in fact. Maybe even 41. But the whole idea of the whole channel is to share useful information that might be fun to watch. But the biggest reason, we want to get out on the open road and share whatever we get for a ride today. Well, it wasn't long into the test ride, and I realized there's a couple little improvements that I really wanted to make. Because when you're riding the bike, when you're looking at it in a parking lot and riding it, 2 different things. You look down and you see this big hollow spot, which I'm going to make a little carbon fiber cover for that very soon on the next time I pull it apart. Now the question is, unlike a windshield that goes up high like a touring bike would have, this isn't that kind of a windshield. But by angling it back just a little bit, it's like the aerodynamics on an airplane. It's like putting the elevators up or the flaps up. A small change makes a big difference in the way that wind hits you in the face. Now, needless to say, there's nothing wrong with the stock mounts if you like that look of having a more upward windshield. And there's really no reason to even have a windshield. It's really just a personal choice thing. But once I got involved in this little project, it took on a life of its own, and I want to see it through right to the end when I have all the little details the way I want them. Now, my modeling friends will all know about aerodynamics and how a little change in a flap angle, an elevator angle, a rudder angle, how a lot of things change. And on a motorcycle, when you're going really fast, that windshield is like an elevator. I'm not even sure the way I have it swept back that it isn't putting some downforce on the front end at really high speeds. I won't know that until I try it. And another little detail, I mentioned it earlier in the video, the little logo, similar, it's the exact match to what's on the side of the tank. Those gel logos come in gold and silver. Gold is usually reserved for the racing bikes and silver for the street bikes. Well, I got one that's an exact match for the front of the windshield, and I think that's going to be just another one of those little baby detail touches that's going to make it special. Now, anybody that's ever done custom work on a motorcycle, try to customize it and add aftermarket parts, and it looks so easy when it's done. But getting it right, getting like a good example, the gap between the windshield and the front end of the bike, little details like that, at the end, they really add up. Now, sadly, as I'm editing the video down, I noticed that, and the wind was blowing pretty good today, that a lot of the scenes have wind noise in the background, and it's kind of annoying, but the Canon camera is terrible, absolutely terrible at picking up wind noise. You wish they would come up with a solution. I have never found a solution for that. Now, good information to share if you have a GoPro or a GoPro type of camera, the real genuine GoPro Wind Slayer, and that's Turbo Steve that came up with that. Thank you for sharing. That is wonderful about killing off some of the wind noise. But for the Canon, I've never found the equivalent thing. Now there's several angles, and I've taken a lot of pictures, several angles where the windshield looks really nice raked back like that, and there's several angles where you almost don't notice it. Maybe if you don't point it out to somebody, they wouldn't even notice it. But if you look at it from this angle, it really looks nice. And from this angle, it actually looks like it's a part that belongs on the motorcycle. And it's sad that Yamaha didn't come up with a part of their own that you could just buy from Yamaha. But this one for 26 bucks is the second best choice for sure. And for me, the biggest thing it does, it makes the front of the bike look finished. For the whole first year I had the bike, I had those little carbon fiber pieces I made. They made it a little bit better, but it always had the look of I need something there. There's a little part missing. Well, I think this is working out pretty good. Now, I really wanted to have all the bracketing, all the covers, have the bike test ridden, make sure I was happy with it. And I did find a little place I want to make a cover for the back. That'll be an easy peasy job to do. But the whole thing is I wanted that finalized before I started any of the paint work on the bike. Now see, once that windshield is in the correct angle and everything, I got the gaps around it. I'm trying to mimic the gaps around those two little gray parts, the little eyebrows. I call them eyebrows anyway. They call them spoilers at Partzilla. But those two little spoilers, when they're painted blue, that gap is going to be very obvious. I want it to be a perfect match. Now, the other nice thing about this is maybe in the summer, take the whole windshield off, get a little more wind on your face. It's a matter of 5 minutes. You can have it on, have it off. But we really have put a lot of time into getting this right. I hope people that have watched the videos appreciate that attention to detail. So the day ended, and I was very happy with the input that I seem to have gotten from the ride. I really think I'm going to extra little cover in the back will make it even nicer than it is. I'm very happy with the angle, and I do want to replace those screws. So yeah, this is the only thing when you do a real world test, something always raises its ugly head up that you want to take care of. So we're home. There's nothing better than a test ride to evaluate how things are. Now the angle worked out great. That couldn't be better. But there's one little detail I want to take care of on a future time I pull this apart. I can make a little cover to cover those the whole back, and you won't be able to see down in there. Again, more little details. I know another little detail. Get the black screws. These, I don't know. In the beginning it didn't bother me. Kind of annoys me now. And the reality of this whole thing is getting all the small details right is very rewarding. And when there's one detail, oh, I just don't know about that. Oh, it's just something, you get a headache thinking about it. So one of the main things, of course, with every ride, I got my exercise. And made it home in one piece without being on the trailer. Once we're back from any of these rides, what's the first thing you think of? Hot cup of coffee. Let's go see how those cookies are coming out. I know they're ready by now. And then get down into the cellar, warm up a little bit. It really was colder than I thought it would be today, but it was not electric gloves cold, but I'm glad I didn't take my bathing suit either. So we're storing, of course, this out of the cold. Oh my God. I think we need a free sample. Can I take a free sample?
Of course.
After a ride in cold weather, that'll do it. So, of course, there's never a problem for if somebody wants to buy a bike, keep it totally stock. I know a lot of people do that because they want to flip it and get top dollar. And if somebody wants to make a radical bike and lower everything and move everything around. But I have found a nice equilibrium of work that I like to do on the bikes that doesn't destroy the way they ride or they handle or anything. And the custom painting, these custom little details, carbon fiber stuff mainly. And it takes me years to get out all the details to where I want them. And actually, it does keep me busy and it does give me some good exercise. And I post up a video every day. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you share it with your friends. And of course, I hope, most of all, that we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for watching.